Hey guys, it is Phantom, Traverse City, Michigan's professional mermaid, and your mermaid here on YouTube, The Magic Crafter. Today I'm going to talk about something that is extremely important and we should have covered a long time ago. Today I'm going to be talking about how to stay safe when you are swimming in a mermaid tail and when you are being a mermaid or merman. Now this applies to people who are doing this just for fun, this applies to adults, this applies to kids, this applies to professional mermaids. Make sure that you are being safe and make sure that you are very aware of all these things I'm about to tell you and you take them into consideration when going off on your mermaiding adventures. The first tip for being safe as a mermaid or merman is to make sure that you know how to use your tail properly. This doesn't just mean swimming in your tail, it also means knowing how to take your tail off easily and quickly if you need to, because you really don't want to drown. If you need to go to a mermaid school, you can look up mermaid school or mermaid classes in your area and you should be able to find one. If you need help, go get it. No shame. And by the way, if you are in Traverse City, my friend the TC Mermaid offers a great mermaid school. She doesn't know that I'm mentioning her, but she's really great at what she does. So if you are in Traverse City, you should check her out. I'll link her in the description. Tip number 2 for how to stay safe as a mermaid is to make sure that you never ever swim alone, and really just in general, try not to be alone. Obviously you don't want to swim alone, but you always need to have somebody with you to help you or to get help for you if you get into any danger. But having someone with you is also really handy if you are a professional mermaid, because when you're a mermaid you can't really move. Obviously if you have a fabric tail you can get out of it pretty easily, but with silicone tails it is very hard to get around. So it's a good idea to have somebody with you at all times, because if you do get into a situation where there is somebody who's maybe slightly creepy or something bad happens and you need help, it is a great idea to have someone there to keep you safe and to keep the situation under control. Another good idea is to make sure that if you are going anywhere, to an event or just to go swim, make sure you let a responsible adult or friend know where you are going and how long your event is going until and when they can expect you to be home. That way if something does happen, they can give you a call and be like, hey, are you okay? And again, make sure you have someone else with you too. Just be extra safe. A couple of layers of safety in that one. Never swim alone, and make sure people know where you are going, and if you do go somewhere, have somebody with you. Tip number 3 for how to stay safe as a mermaid or merman in the land or in the water is to be very knowledgeable about your location and mindful of the weather and the conditions and the environment of which you will be in. For example, if you're going to be on dry land and performing on dry land as a professional mermaid, make sure that you stay hydrated. If it's going to be hot, always stay hydrated regardless of the weather. But make sure that if it is really hot, that you make it clear that you need extra breaks, might need somebody to splash some water on you. Make sure you plan ahead. As far as swimming goes, you don't really have to worry about conditions so much if you're in a pool, but if you are in a natural body of water, for example an ocean or a river or a lake, you need to be very mindful of the environment and the things that are swimming with you as well. So make sure that you are on alert for things such as riptides, strong currents. Make sure you are not swimming during a thunderstorm. Be aware of any bacteria such as E. coli or something that can give you swimmer's itch, because none of those things are fun. And it is also very important to be aware of the animals that may be in the area you are swimming that could potentially be dangerous, and learn how to avoid confrontation with them and what to do if you do end up confronting these animals. This can go for land animals such as cougars and sea animals such as sharks or jellyfish. We kind of covered tip number 4 of how to be safe as a mermaid or merman, but this one is to take care of your body, because you are the mermaid, you are the merman. If you are not taking care of your body, you're not going to be a very good mermaid or merman, and you're not going to be a very healthy or happy one either. So this means doing things such as showering off and getting any dirt, grime, slime, chlorine, whatever off of your body, just like what you would do with your tail. You clean your tail well, clean yourself too, because that stuff is nasty. Make sure you take care of your eyes. I actually have an entire video on eye care for mermaids. You can see that right up here. It's a good idea to also get water out of your ears. You want to use some saline solution in your nose. And if you have any cuts from any natural areas, it might be a good idea to disinfect those with either some rubbing alcohol or some hydrogen peroxide. Also, when it comes to taking care of your body, make sure that you are, like I said earlier, staying hydrated, keeping yourself properly fed, and taking care of yourself. Don't neglect yourself just to be a performer. Although I know we do that to some degree, you also do need to take care of yourself. It can be hard sometimes, but just try, because then you'll be at your best when you do. So our fifth and final tip for how to be safe as a mermaid or as a merman is to know your limits. This applies to seasoned professionals, this applies to amateurs, this applies to young people, old people, people doing this for fun, boys, girls, hamsters, anybody who wants to be a mermaid. You need to know your limits. There are lots of awesome mermaids out there like Hannah Fraser, Mermaid Melissa, Mermaid Setia, a bunch of mermaids who are they just make me really crazy because they're so awesome. You are not them. I am not them. They have been practicing this stuff for years and years and years, and they may be able to do things that you are not able to do. And you need to be aware of what your skill level is and what you're capable of and what you're not capable of. For example, some people can hold their breath for over 5 minutes. That someone probably isn't you, and you should not try to force yourself to do that in one sitting. That takes time. That takes many, many years of practice and different techniques that are done to safely get to that point. You can work towards that point, but do it safely and make sure you're following expert advice. Knowing your limits also means knowing to listen to your body when you are getting, say, too hot or too tired or too cold and you need to get out of a situation that could potentially turn dangerous. This also applies to those who wish to be professional mermaids, and they may see some people doing things that look really, really cool and they want to try it, but they're kind of newer to the community. I've noticed this a bit with tank work. There are people who want to just jump into a tank because it looks cool, and I do not blame you. It is awesome. I love tank work, but it is dangerous. Even when you do know what you're doing, you're going to get hurt, because like when you do tank work, you are a bruise, a giant bruise, and it's painful. That's my fifth tip. Make sure you know your limits. Make sure you listen to your body. Make sure you are aware of what your skill set is, where you are in terms of certain tricks and certain abilities, and know what you can and cannot do safely. Just be smart. That's kind of the fifth tip, is be smart. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed these 5 tips on how to be safe as a mermaid or a merman when you're swimming in the water or when you are on dry land. Please make sure you subscribe by clicking right here. Oh no, I'm so sorry. And then watch this video next, or this video over here. I will see you guys next Friday. Thanks for watching.